hello, everyone. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are or whenever you're watching this video. This is episode 2 of Expert Interview Series. I bring in experts to talk about how you could use their expertise and their knowledge to enhance and grow your business. So that's what this whole channel is all about, giving you growth tips and also digital marketing and tech tips. So if these type of contents resonates with you, please do subscribe, watch this interview fully and find out for yourself. And if it resonates with you, please do subscribe and share it with your friends as well. So today's episode, or today's expert, is someone I worked with recently. It has transformed my life. I am not saying this in a lighter term. I'm saying that because I've been in a very, very, very bad state. I was literally, I am not a crier. I don't cry that much. But for the last two and a half years or so, or even more, it's been a testing period for me. So that is why I wanted to bring her on and talk to you about how she helps others. Or if you may be in a similar situation as I was in, or you may be in a better place, or you may be in a worse place than I was in. We never know unless we start exploring things. When we change within, we change outside. That's the point of this whole theory of bringing in the experts. So let me read a little bit before I go into anything too much. Let me read about the expert, Nirmala. Nirmala Sekhar moved from the rational world of software development and consulting into an intuitive world of energy, modalities, and healing. I think we all are surrounded by energy. If only we know how to control it, then we are winning, or at least work alongside with it in a better way. The universe has taken her on a many learning journeys, including body talk, mindscape. I wanted to ask her about that. Reiki, energy medicine, back flower remedies, hatha yoga. You can heal your life, the work by Louise Hay, and coaching. This intense period of learning and growth has allowed her to integrate her rational left brain with an intuitive and creative right brain. This is about aligning yourself, aligning both the brains so that you can get 100% out of your life. And she works with entrepreneurs. She works with anyone who wants to enhance their life and find out what the soul purpose is, what's holding them back. We all, in one way or other, we know what our soul's purpose is, but we are holding us back in that zone of like, oh, I don't know whether this is the right one. So that's what we need to work on. So I'm going to bring her on and let her talk to us about more things, what she does and how she works with other people, how she works in line with our belief systems. That's more important. We need to believe before we even take action. That's one of the things which we need to work on as well. Hey Nirmala, thanks for coming. I've watched quite a few videos, and then we worked together, and I was blown away. Every time we worked together, I was like, usually I am a control freak. I control everything, but you made me more to get out of that, out of my way. I think when we start controlling our life, we get in the way, right? So you made me realize that I need to get out of the way. I think many of us can relate with that fact. Either someone has told us this is how you need to behave, or you kind of life throws curveballs and you kind of become, oh, I need to take control of this. And then it becomes a habit. Once it becomes a habit, it's hard to let go of that. So tell us a little bit about your work. I know little, I've experienced small part. I think I've not experienced all of it. I've experienced the small part. If that small part can blow my mind away, which I don't say that lightly, because I work with energy. I am an energy healer myself, but I don't practice on others. I practice on myself. It's easier that way. So how did he end up? How did he, you know, I am a software developer myself as well. I still work in the IT environment. So how did you move from the software development, and what made you think that this is how I need to do, this is how I want to help others?
Yeah. Thank you so much, first of all, Sudha, for inviting me to be part of this series. It was such a pleasant surprise. For a little bit about myself, like you mentioned, I was in the IT world, and very happily with that IT world. I loved the creation process, the organizing process, taking users through applications. And then at one point, something within me told, and till then I was very, very rational, left brain, organization freak. And something within me said, that's enough. You can stop this. And I just decided to honor it. And I knew nothing what was going to happen beyond that. And for the next 5 years, I think, I just explored different areas. I did too many courses, training, and I was like looking at, okay, maybe I need to go into consulting, or maybe I need to go into training. I was good. I enjoy training, and I think I'm reasonably good with training and
watching your
leading
videos, they're very
workshops.
organized.
So I was exploring all of that, but things were not sitting well with me that this is what I wanted to do. So I would go up to a particular point, but make no effort beyond that. And there were things happening at home. My father-in-law was not well, then my father was not well. So I just took this time out for myself to do learning and taking care of others. And it was only when my father passed away, I thought I did handle my grief very well. And I'm the eldest at home. My mother was still alive at that point. And I thought I was doing well. But a few months later, we went to my father's, where my parents used to live, to sort of wind down the home and clear everything. And that's when it really hit me, the whole thing. And after I did all that and went home, I had vague symptoms in my body. I had vague symptoms in my mind. I was lost my confidence altogether, and I didn't know what was happening with me. I just knew that something was not right. And I was Googling my symptoms, which is really not a good thing. I wouldn't recommend it at all.
I do that as well.
Right? So I was Googling my symptoms, and there was, at that point, that symptom was dizziness. And I avoided all the medical sites. And then there was this video, a bald guy, a video, and then something told me, click on this. So I clicked on it, and he explained some technique. And I watched it. It was just a short video. Then I rewound it, watched it again, and did it with him. And my dizziness reduced. And I said, oh, interesting. So I rewound it again and watched it again and did the whole exercise again, and the dizziness went away. So I was so intrigued that I went to the website, looked at the list of practitioners, and incidentally, that person was the one who put together Body Talk System. And it's a consciousness-based modality. So it tunes in looks at all of us as conscious beings that exist on so many different dimensions. So it's looking at us from different lenses. So that's I didn't know all of that at that point in time. I went to a practitioner, got my first session the next day, felt a little bit better. I had 3 sessions over the next month with her. And by the third session, I felt I'd got myself back. And that's when I thought, this is something that is exciting to me. And within 2 months, she told me the course is coming to Singapore. There's a trainer who's coming. Would you like to learn about it? And I didn't even ask how much it is, nothing. I said, okay, yeah, I'm in. And I didn't know anything about body talk other than, okay, it works at multiple levels. Nothing else I knew. And once I sat in the class, I just felt that I found my calling. Truly. I felt at home, like a, like a blotting paper. I was like absorbing everything. I did one course after another, one course after another. I got myself certified in the modality. And that's when the whole intense period of learning started. Things were just coming up my way. And I was learning so many different things and putting it all together, and started practicing with family, friends, and then word of mouth. And when COVID came, that's when I decided to, I was in Europe at that point in time. My husband was on a sabbatical. I had no social media presence. I was just doing word of mouth at home, in person, all the work. And COVID came, and I felt I had to share a self-care framework with everybody. And initially, it was just a message that I wanted to share about COVID and how do we handle the whole pandemic. And this was a very personal thing for me. I just felt that I can't reach out to my family and friends one by one and talk about all of this. And the thing came that I needed to put it together as videos. I knew nothing about videos. I used to freeze on camera just for photography. I knew nothing about video taking, nothing. And we had to, during all this, we had to rush back from Prague to Singapore, cutting short my husband's sabbatical because of COVID. And we came home and we were cleaning and cleaning because the house had been closed for 10 months. And we were fulfilling our quarantine period. And in all this, I was learning how to set the camera, how to set up the light. Where do I look? I didn't even know that. But the messages I knew. I really knew the messages. So they were short videos, and the whole content was organized as week 1, week 2, week 3, week 4. It was a 28 days program. And the whole journey from Prague to Singapore, my husband was like, I don't know what's going to happen. He was a bit concerned about the situation. Nothing was known at that time. And I was super excited because I was inspired with all this information that was just coming through me. I said, yes, that's a wonderful thing. This is how I would do this. This is how I would do that. And I launched within 2 weeks of coming to Singapore. I launched my program. It went on for more than a month. And at the end of that, the last week, one of the days was about, okay, all of this is there. Moving forward, what do we do? And that's when I had put a framework of self-care, which included a foundation of self-care, self-acceptance, and then self-awareness, and then self-care on 5 different dimensions. So then I started almost a year-long work on social media to share this entire framework little by little, little by little. And we have completed that, and we are revisiting it, and I think it will be done. Yeah, so I'm thoroughly enjoying
How
this process.
does this body talk work? what are the things which we need to work on? Um,
Mhm.
let's talk about how body talk works, and also talk about your framework, how these two connects together.
Yeah.
Because when you did the work with me, I was in a really bad state. I was like, I didn't know what to go about. And there is a saying in India. Uh, I'm going to tell it in Tamil and then explain, paraphrase it in English. விருந்தும் மருந்தும் மூணு நாளைக்கு தான் அப்படின்னா, like what that means is that it doesn't matter the partying or anyone who is helping you. They only can do it for the short amount of time. After that, they fed up, or they almost try to become conditional in own ways. If you want me to help you, you've got to help yourself. So that part, we need to take that initiation, that we need to help ourselves.
Absolutely.
If only we all realize that when we start, instead of looking for help outside, when we start helping ourselves, we think we help ourselves in one way or other, but not really. We are helping ourselves with the context of, yeah, if something goes wrong, they will help me. If something goes wrong, government will help me. Or we try to blame others if they are not helping us the way we want them to help us. So how can we start taking care of ourselves from this set go?
So the thing is,
does body talk work, or other modalities work?
right. So the important thing to remember is whenever we are healing, whether we go to a doctor or we go get a surgery, or we go to an alternate medical practitioner or a body talk practitioner, it doesn't matter. Whoever we go to, ultimately, all the others are just giving us a helping hand.
Mm-hmm.
It's our own inner wisdom, our own inner body guidance that is healing us. So if I get a cut on the shoulder or any other part of the body, I do nothing. The body has an inner wisdom that says, okay, something has happened here. I need to send more blood here. I need to send more nutrients. I need to get the clotting process started. And all of this is happening autopilot. And what Body Talk does is tap on this innate ability to heal ourselves at multiple levels. And by supporting the body and saying, look, I think this is where you need to heal. This is what I'm picking up. And using that information and tapping in and saying, this is working well, continue that process. So the question is,
how do we know that wisdom? That how do we know that's the body talking to us? But sometimes it is physical, like
yes,
we become a little bit unease with things, and we say, okay, there's something has to happen. How do we know that's what we need to do? Where do we get that information from? Like, yes, body is happening, the things are like similar to breathing, right? We breathe.
absolutely.
No matter, no one thinks whether they should be inhaling or exhaling, unless otherwise we are forced to do that yoga breathing.
That's right. That's right.
So
and that's a perfect go ahead, Sudha.
How do we know that this is our body talking to us, not from a psychological level? I'm talking about from the psychological level. I'm not talking about the physical symptoms. Yes, physical symptoms does come up later. Way later. The body would have talked to us before that. Before the physical symptom comes back. Like, for example, if you're diagnosed with cancer, you would know there's something wrong. The cancer doesn't sprout out from nothing. So how do we know and hear this talk, the body talking to us,
Yeah.
before it becomes a symptom?
So that's an excellent, excellent question. And I guess everybody would be thinking about it. How do we know what the
Yeah.
body needs, right? Um, the body is always giving us signals. We may not be picking up those signals because we are not in tune with our body, one, or we are not aware of what's happening.
Mm.
And sometimes that awareness itself can be a very painful thing. And it may be unpleasant, uncomfortable, and we may just shut down that awareness.
Mm.
And that awareness can happen at a physical level, for example, that I know that I'm having pain here or discomfort there. And some people are not aware of any pain or any discomfort because they are so busy working, doing things that you're not even aware of the tension that's being held on the body. So
Yes.
that's one level of awareness. Energetically, so we are looking at the 5 dimensions of awareness and self-care. So at the physical level, we may not be aware. Energetically, our energy needs to move. The moment the energy is stagnant, whether we look at the traditional Chinese method of qi and the meridians, or we look at the Ayurvedic method of prana, the nadis, the chakras, any of the methods that we look at, our aura, or any of the other grids, any system that we look at, um, the energy needs to constantly move and be in balance. Whether you're moving through yin to yang and then back to yin, it needs to be in that balance.
Yes.
When it is not in balance is when the stagnation takes place, and that's when pain comes, discomfort comes. So awareness could be about the state of my own energy self. Awareness can be at an emotional level. What am I experiencing? What am I feeling? And very often we are not aware of our emotions, right? I'm irritated, but I'm pretending like it's okay. Or I'm angry, but I'm not aware that I'm angry because I have not given myself permission to feel anger.
Yes.
Uh,
It's also societal, isn't it? Most of the time
Absolutely.
we shut our emotions down or feelings down is because what would they think if I start crying?
Right.
What would they think if
Absolutely.
I start laughing? Especially we do that. We've got to have that. The society has bound us in such a way that we can't even understand or explore our inner feelings,
Yes.
emotions.
Yes. And so that's a process. So from childhood, right? Our society, starting from classes and schoolrooms, right? We're not allowed or we're not taught to be aware of our emotions, honor them, and release them in a positive way.
Yes,
We're not taught that.
that's the important. They all tried to do it in a positive way, but in a wrong way
Yeah.
of doing that. Yes, they wanted us to feel better. That's why they
Yes.
said, okay, stop crying. But we've never explored why we are crying, why we
Yes.
are angry. We never explored that. If we could have
That's right.
done that root cause analysis, that comes from the
Absolutely.
left brain, isn't it?
Absolutely, absolutely, right? But it's never too late. They're never too late. So we can learn. And for years, I didn't know what I was feeling, what I was thinking, what I was, it was just happening under the radar. And it took me a lot of inner reflection, inner work to become aware. Oh, I'm feeling this. Oh, I'm feeling this. So that's at the emotional level, and at the intellectual level too. We are not aware of our belief systems
Yeah.
or our needs. Our intellectual self has many needs. One of that is constant learning and imagination. even intuition, right, is a process of intellect. Einstein believed in intuition. So there are so many scientists who came to their scientific discoveries and inventions by harnessing on their intuitive mind. It's an intellectual process, but we are never given free rein to explore our intuition because it's not intellectual, it's not scientific. And so I want to state that, intuition is a very much a part of our life and we need to honor that. So looking and silence, for example, our mind needs to be silent from time to time.
Yeah, I think solopreneurs are creative beings, but they are not harnessing that creativity to care for themselves as well. There's been quite a lot of stories. I come from tech entrepreneurial background as well. So there are many tech entrepreneurs who are, number one, scared of sharing their feelings. Number two, what would they think? Or if I am supposed to be the intelligent person, I should not be sharing these things. Same goes with women entrepreneurs as well. Like, we have always taken care of others in the family. We never explored how to take care of ourselves, how to validate our feelings. We might understand our sons and daughters' feelings. We might understand our nieces and nephews, our father, mother, or even husband and boyfriends and everything, but we never explored how are we feeling.
Yes.
In different situations. When they hurt us, how do we feel? When they love us, how do we feel? We never explored that. For some strange reason. And we wanted external confirmation of that as well. We wanted the hug, we wanted the kiss. But when that doesn't happen, we think, oh, why it doesn't happen? We never think that I can kiss myself, I can hug myself. It doesn't matter. I don't want the external stimulation of that feeling good or feeling bad. We seem to feel bad more from the external stimulation than we feel.
I wanted to share this framework so it will make sense to the viewers. I hope we are able to see that.
Yes, I am able to see. I want to go and check the video back again. Yeah.
Right. Okay, so this is the framework of a map of self-care, and you can see that the self-love and acceptance is right at the foundation.
Yes.
Without self-love and acceptance, and you just mentioned that we are looking for validation outside, and that can be sometimes difficult to get. And it's easier if we are able to give.
They are struggling with their own self-love as well, because for the validation from me. And at one point you'd start thinking, why am I giving out love all the time when I don't get it back? Because they are not able to give you that thing.
Right. So it all starts with self-love and acceptance. And the more I'm able to love myself, the more I'm able to love others. The more I love myself, the more I'm able to receive love from others. Many of us struggle to receive, whether it's money, whether it's love, whether it's money, whether it's help, whether it's love, whether it's support. We struggle to accept and to receive it from others. We are happy to give to others, but we are not able to receive it from others.
But mind you, I come from another theory as well. Correct me if I'm wrong. Sometimes what happens is, when we start loving ourselves, we are all resourceful in every way possible, right? That's what the spirituality says, that what the many scriptures says. We have all the answers within ourselves. Once we start accept that fact, that we have got solutions within ourselves, we are more resourceful. than
Absolutely.
anyone can. We don't need other people's resource. We know how to be resourceful in our own way, because just imagine the seed, just by the tiny seed we become, or egg, whatever we call, we become this being of mass.
Yes.
If we are that resourceful, within
Yep.
9 months
Yes.
in mom's
Yeah.
womb, yes,
Yeah.
helped us nurture it. We can do that, right? When
Yeah.
we come out, well, for some
Yeah.
strange reason, we don't.
We don't. We don't because we are not able to um, understand that we are very powerful.
Yes.
And when we are powerful, we are not just physically powerful, we are powerful on all these 5 levels: energetically, emotionally, intellectually, spiritually as well. And so self-care would involve nourishing all these 5 aspects of ourselves. And
Mm,
I generally like to start with the spiritual because that's the core of our being, that's the core of our essence. And especially for busy entrepreneurs, we are putting ourselves out there. Our business, our work is an extension of ourselves. And we have to tap on the highest aspect of our being. And that's our spirituality. Whether we believe or practice a religion or not, we can still have spirituality. And the one thing that I like about spirituality is that it connects us to our values.
mm.
So, which values are important to me? So, my work needs to be an extension of my values. And when I come from that, so self-care, so this is a very, very broad way of looking at self-care. I'm not looking at just a massage, though that is wonderful, or just an outing with friends. That is wonderful too. But
Even eating ice cream.
yes, yes, yes. Giving myself permission to eat ice cream. I love ice cream. Um, so giving myself permission to eat ice cream and enjoy it is self-care. There's so much more to self-care than just that, and that's what I want to highlight.
Many feel guilty as well when they do all these things. They think that, yes, that's a self-care I need to do. Everyone said that I need to do, but
Yeah,
they feel guilty. That's where the acceptance come into place, right?
absolutely.
Say, okay, I accept. I don't have
Yeah,
any guilt of eating ice cream. I don't have
yeah,
any guilt of going to my friends and having a party. When it goes in excess, that's when you need to be a little bit more
yes,
careful of what is. Not getting addicted is also another way of
yeah,
acceptance and self-care as well. Like
yeah,
sometimes we do something in excess. We go to that extreme. We are yo-yo in
yes,
when it comes to self-care, right? Someone says, oh, I need to, will take a tub of ice cream and sit there and eat. Yes, that's going to make you sick,
yeah.
even if you like it.
Yeah, and so you brought up a very important point, Sudha. One of the topics in spiritual self-care is balancing two opposites.
Yes.
And there are 2 ways of looking at this. One is that you go to both ends of the opposites. So one of those is like rest and action. So you need to honor both the rest and then action. You can't have only rest or only action. Both need to be honored.
Yes.
But when it comes to other things like maybe things I like, ice cream or chocolates or something like that, that's where either instead of saying I will have no ice cream, no chocolate, or instead of saying I will have lots of ice cream, can I travel the middle path?
People are
So
so scared of that gray area because they're confused. I think that's the problem here. The problem here is that's how I see it. Like we are not able to, oh, this is right, this is wrong. Every right is wrong in a different context. Every
yes,
wrong is right in a different context. So how we balance that, if we had to kill someone to save ourselves, like we are getting mugged, if we want to do something to save ourselves, that is
Yeah.
all right in its own self. You don't go out of the way thinking that that person is going to mug me, so I'm going to kill him. So
Yeah.
you've got to have that balance of thinking what is right here for us. So tell us, how do you work with other? I know how you work. I wanted to hear it from you because I only have a little bit of knowledge of how you work with others. You've got many clients, and how do you work? How people can approach you?
So right now, because of the COVID, actually 2 years, the last 2 years, most of my sessions have been on Zoom.
Yes.
I have made really good use of Zoom. And Zoom sessions work because really there is, um, all of us are interconnected.
Yes, of
And
course.
we are, it's a quantum entanglement, right?
Yeah.
So we can tune in to each other regardless of where we are.
Mm.
So Zoom works fantastically well. And people can approach me and book sessions. There are all the social handles there. Any of those can be
Yeah,
used
I will
to
put all
book.
the social handles of Nirmala below so you can get in touch with her. She's got a beautiful YouTube channel, and she's got a Facebook group.
Yeah.
And she also has got other handles as well, like she's on LinkedIn. So you can get in touch with her. Yeah, go ahead. Sorry, I'm being
Yeah. And the whole series on self-care is valuable to me individually as well, because when my clients are working with me, they also need to practice their own self-care. They also, because they need to take ownership of their own healing process. And when they are struggling with particular aspects, I send them video links of what I have talked about, so they can take ownership of that. It's not, it's a partnership. It's not handing over responsibility. And that's one thing that I want everybody to take back, is that our healing, no matter in what area, whether it's physically, mentally, emotionally, financially, creatively, whatever area of healing we want in our life, that's our responsibility.
Yes.
Things that may happen to us may not be in our control,
Yeah.
but the path forward, the healing process is definitely within our control. And when
Mm.
we take that action, that step forward, all support will be given to us. Maybe somebody will send a link here, or a message will come through another place, or somebody will come and approach you, to say, okay, you can do this. So watch out for those synchronicities, those coincidences. That's the universe nudging us and saying, maybe try this. Like, I watched Google and picked up a bald person with a video, and that started me off on a process that's been an amazing journey for me. And the same thing can happen to anybody as well.
Yeah, I think there is no when people say, oh, this is bad for me, or this is good for me, and
Yeah.
I feel that when we are aligned with the universe, and when we are aligned with the purpose, um,
Yes.
any message comes to us, we need to see, good, bad,
Yes.
ugly, it doesn't
Yes.
matter. And it is in our intellectual, it's our wisdom or the learnings which we've got
Yeah.
to ascertain whether that is good for me now, or is it good for me later, or is
Yeah.
it just a message. So that's where we need to. So people, how, like, I know I was on a 5 session basis with you.
Right.
Mind you, I'm thinking of going regular as well. To be frank with, I need
Thank
the
you.
top up.
Yeah.
It's like
Yeah.
mobile top ups. You need a top up every now and then.
Yeah.
So how do you? you said you do, it worked for you. You are in Singapore, I'm in the UK. It worked
Yeah.
brilliantly for us.
Yeah.
So when people book that, you also have got other modality. You did say to me, like, you can go, if this is not working, you've got to go and get the back
Yeah.
flower remedies and stuff like that.
Yeah.
How does that work? Like, you do you do put together, these are the flower remedies you need, and then I go and get someone practitioner here in locally to get that. Is
Yeah.
that how it works? Yeah.
Yes. So I got drawn to Bach flower remedies because it's a vibrational system of healing.
Yes.
And it's very much in line with body talk, which is a consciousness-based
Yeah.
healing modality. And sometimes people need to see that physical thing and hold it and use it. It's something that helps them. So that Bach flower remedies, we can either identify the remedies and I pass you the remedies. But if you're in UK, which is the home of Bach flower remedies, I just give you the composites and then you can get it from any person, any practitioner there in UK. I've had
Mind you, I
amazing.
never knew about this for ages, and I was thinking, what is happening? Because I know about crystal excellers,
Yes.
but I never thought about Bach flowers. And
Yeah.
one of my clients, we were in the same group, but she is a practitioner and she does do animal essences as well,
Right.
animals and birds and other
Yeah.
things. So that is how I got interested. So people can mix. You do the consultation for them to.
Yes. And I mix a lot of the
Oh,
modalities
yeah,
because different modalities appeal to different people
on different
and
levels as well.
on different levels as well, And so that really helps to have a toolkit where you can use different tools or combine all the tools together. And I often use Louise Hay's affirmations or create my own affirmations or talk to them about affirmations so they can continue with affirmations, Ho'oponopono, whatever tools that I can share with the clients that they can continue their work, inner work themselves is a
Mm.
big plus, is a big
Yeah,
plus.
I think the number one before someone even finds is that they've got to accept that they've got a problem, and then they've got to accept that they have got the control to either clear the problem or make it worse.
Yeah.
If they want to clear the problem, that's when they should be going to the therapist. If they're going to make it worse, please don't go. Just you can
Yeah.
do more damage to yourself than you can think of. So
Yes.
I will leave all the. Do you have a freebie or do you have anything to share? Please do send
Well,
us.
I have a Facebook group, a private Facebook group, where it's a map of self-care. And we talk about self-care, and I do regular weekly lives in addition to any content available to the public.
Yeah.
This is something specific just for the group, so that people, everybody knows about self-care. It's not that we don't have the information. It's just that sometimes we get lazy. Sometimes we don't have the inspiration or the motivation. So being in a group where it is focused, constant messages are coming in, uh, let's take care of ourselves. That's a strong motivation for self-care.
Yeah, I think that is very, very important. Like sometimes our brain gets. I am lazy, to be frank with. I feel that I do something for certain. Consistency makes big difference. You
Absolutely.
have to be consistent. It's not like just imagine you just breathe for 5 minutes and then stop breathing. You won't be there for the next set of 5 minutes breathing.
Yes, that's true.
So it's that consistency of doing things regularly. And yes, we can pick and choose different things to
Yeah.
work on a different level, but doing that. Thank you very much for coming online and giving us all these tips and information. Please do give me the links, and I'll put it under in the description of this video on YouTube, so people can get in touch with you. And I am so grateful that you came on and spoke about, and thank you very much. I don't know whether I said thank you to our sessions, but thank you very much for doing that with me. But that's what initiated. I never before I thought, oh, I could bring Nirmala in, but after our sessions, and I felt, yes, we do need. I only bring. I can't say that's not true. Most of the time, 90% of the time, I bring people here whom I worked with, or at
Thank
least
you
that's
so
what
much,
it's
Sudha.
been. That's what has been for last 5 seasons. I don't know what will happen for moving forward, but I make a point that I work with them before I bring them in. It also gives me confidence that
Nice.
yes, I am. uh, I
Thank you
wouldn't
so
say
much, Sudha.
promoting.
Right,
I am at least helping others in,
right,
okay, there exists another option for you. So
right.
thank you. Thanks for coming. I really appreciate that. And I will see you in our next session sometime soon.
Okay. Thank you so much, Sudha. I really appreciate this opportunity to share my work. I hope all of you, all the viewers, have a wonderful way in which we can take care of ourselves, because all entrepreneurship starts with well-being, our own personal well-being. So taking care of ourselves in all levels contributes to our work, to our family, to the world, to our purpose in whatever way. Thank
Yes,
you once again,
that
Sudha.
impact comes from being taking care of ourselves, isn't it?
Yes.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thanks a lot. Really appreciate that.
Bye, Sudha.
Bye. Oh, you heard Nirmala talk about these things of how we all know how to take care of ourselves. It's not that we don't know. It's just the intensity of it and which part are we looking at. If something is repeated, being mindful of our actions, being mindful of our responsibilities in this world. We came here for a purpose. We need to fulfill that purpose. We need to fulfill how we become the better person, or how we leave this earth as a better place for other people to follow. So that's all I want to share this week, or this episode. In this episode, again, I request, if you are resonating with the content which I am exploring every week, and if you're resonating with, if you're a solopreneur or a mompreneur or entrepreneur, please do subscribe to my channel. And if you want me to talk about anything different, and you're struggling with something, just let us know, so that we can bring in an expert, or I can give you some of my experience on that subject. That's all I've got for you this week. Again, until I see you next, be joyful, be responsible for your own happiness, and also be good. Thank you very much, and bye for now.